Hi, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Pat is not here today, so I am filling in. And I am very excited to talk to you guys. We have a big day today. We're giving away a soul machine, and I'm really excited. So if you purchased the $100 entry to get the soul machine, today is the day we are drawing at the end of today's broadcast, which will probably be about 45 minutes to an hour. If you're here, please, comment so I can see where you guys are, where you're at. If you have any questions, Chris, I meant to tell you this. Chris is behind the scenes, but I do have the phone, so I could take phone calls. And I'm assuming I could do that right here through the same way that my dad does. So if you want to ask questions or have anything once we get down to a topic, you can call 502-599-9722. We're not taking those calls yet. We'll give it a few minutes here before we start taking phone calls. Again, that number is 502-599-9722. So if you are here, please say hi so I can see, so I can see your StreamYard, so I can see your comments. I'm trying to see if anybody said anything yet. Again, I'm Elaine Pauly with MagnaWave. So we're really excited today. We're going to give away a soul. Chris, are you seeing comments? Because I'm not. No, okay, I'm just making sure. If you're here, say hi. Tell me where you're located and get ready to ask some questions. I am going to take today to just kind of go through a little bit about the questions that we get in the office all the time. If you are someone who is looking to purchase a PEMF machine, period, or from anywhere, whether it be from MagnaWave or from somebody else, there's a lot of information out there and a lot of misinformation out there. And I think that there's a couple things that everybody should keep in mind when they're purchasing a machine just to protect themselves. So I've made a list of those, 5 or 10 things that I think that you should just write them down and ask these questions before you get into purchasing a PEMF machine. It kind of goes the same way for any type of exercise equipment too. You have these things that you need to ask before purchasing any, having a major purchase. So I'm still not seeing any comments. I don't know if I have it right or not. If not, I could pull up another screen here, Chris, and maybe go into Facebook. Okay. Let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. I am late today. We were running behind and it is my fault. Would I see the comments on Facebook, Chris? Okay. I think I have to mute. Can you still hear me? Yes. Okay. I just want to mute it so that I don't see myself blaring back through my speakers there. All right. So I'm going to open up Facebook here so that I can see your all's comments. I do want to talk to you, and I am very excited to interact with you all today, as well as you could still do the phone number, which is 502-599-9722, which we will be taking calls on here shortly. So anyways, please tell me in the comments where you are, where you're located, where you're watching from today, so that I can, give you a shout out and talk to you. Why can't I find this? I hate the new Facebook. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Okay, I see. Oh, we got 15 comments. All right, we're live. Here we go. Let's look and see what everybody's saying. So hi from South Carolina. Hi, Susan Turner. How are you? Shout out to Maureen for the goodies. Yes, Erin shouted out Maureen there. Maureen sent cookies to the office today, which we just love that always. So thank you, Maureen. Everybody likes food. Hi, John in England, and Dion. Hi, Dion. Dion is in my business builder class. We're going to talk about that today too. If you are building a PEMF business, there are just some things that you need to keep in mind and need to be doing to keep your business going, and we're going to talk about that. Let's see if I can get everybody up here. Good morning. Hi from Southern. I said hi to Susan. Let me see if I could see. I am trying to see everybody's comments, and it shows me 5. Okay. Carrie is that right? Waving, Minnesota. Wow. Hi, Carrie. That is an interesting place that you live at. All right, so we are going to kind of go through a couple things. So I'm going to start with what to ask before buying a PEMF machine, and then I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what to do afterwards if you're starting a business, because that's our number one question that we are getting into the office constantly is, what do I do? How do I start a business? How do I go about it? Hi, Donnell. Good morning from Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Wave Viking, Carrie said. She's in Wave Viking, Minnesota. Wow, that's really cool. My high school was actually the Valkyries, so that was really cool. You can also text into this phone number, 502-599-9722. If you have questions. I think we might have a text here as well. Yep, good morning from Merced, California. So good morning. All right, so I'm going to go through what you need to keep in mind when you're buying a PEMF machine. And number one thing to ask is, and a lot of people don't ask this, when you're talking to somebody, like, is there safety testing on this equipment? And do you have certificates to show that for my insurance? A lot of people get liability insurance or just coverage on their machines. And then they get these plans, they pay for them, they're very expensive. And then at the end, if something does go wrong, like the building burns down or something happens in your equipment, something is wrong with your equipment, you cannot, you're not able to actually recover that insurance plan if you do not have a safety certificate, if the company you bought the machine from does not have that safety certificate. So any liability insurance company will give you liability insurance. They don't ask you for these type of certificates until something goes wrong. So you could pay 2 to 3 years worth of monthly payments and, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and then get to where you need to recoup that money with an insurance policy. And if the person that sold you the machine does not have that safety certificate, then you're out of luck. So that's really something to ask, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, you can get liability insurance on our machines, but they don't actually have that certificate when it comes down to getting it. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know, we're not doing Castbox for today. That is actually something that my dad has under his account, which I do not have access to and I'm not on right now. So I'm sorry guys, we're not gonna be able to do Castbox. Okay, so then let's move forward. So I talked about having that liability insurance and that safety certificate. Any company should be able to show you some type of third-party safety testing, or at least explain how they're safety tested. Another thing is warranty. That's a big one. What is the warranty? And is the machine that you're purchasing new? I actually have spoken to people over the last 2 months that have purchased from other PEMF companies, and they've come to find out that the machine that they bought was years old. And even though their machines come with a 10-year warranty, that machine had already been out for about 2 years that they purchased, and they never even thought to ask if it was new. They just assumed it was. So ask if the machine is new, if the attachments are new, or if they're used, because that matters. Majority of these places are not the manufacturer and do not have a relationship with the manufacturer. Another one is, how long have they been in business? How long has that company been in business? There's a lot of fly-by-night companies that have their machines made out of the country, you know, who make up a lot of, you know, you just don't know. I always ask, like, how long have you had this same name and how long have you been in business? Majority of PEMF companies that we are currently in competition with right now have changed their name at least 3 or 4 times over the last 3 or 4 years. So if there's a reason for that, ask about it. And, you know, just, you want to know who you're dealing with, because buying a machine is the easy part. It's the 6-7 years down the road where you need service and you can't get it because they've changed their name, that person doesn't work there anymore, or you have to ship it out of the country. So it's just really something to keep in mind, because this is a big investment. Okay, do they offer rentals? And what does that look like? Do you get a new machine? Do you get an old machine? What happens if you decide to buy? Do you get to keep that machine? That's very important if you're renting a machine. Also, make sure that when you're renting, 100% of that rental goes towards the purchase price. Recently, it's come to our attention that some other PEMF companies allow, they will not, you have a certain amount of hours that you can use the machine when you're renting. And then after that, if you go over those hours, they bill you for it. And that amount of money does not go towards the purchase of the machine. So that can be thousands of dollars and you're not aware of it. So make sure you read that fine print, and you make sure that there's no like amount that you can use the machine during that rental time, because that's really scary if you're unaware of how much you can use it. And do they offer returns? What if you wanted to do return it in 30 days? Or what if you wanted to do a trade-in? Let's say you want a bigger machine in a few years. You want to buy a second machine. These are ideas that you want to understand what you're getting into, because it's a very real chance, if you are doing a business especially, that you're going to want to get a bigger machine as your business grows, or another machine, and really understanding what that would look like if you traded in a machine, or if you decided to not trade it in and get a second machine, what kind of discounts are offered for second machine purchases, etc. So that's really something to ask. And then I would also ask about an affiliate program. Like, is there a way for you to share your love for PEMF and this equipment and really help somebody get into a machine and you make a little bit of money? I mean, I think that everybody wants to be on board and be successful. And that's, a lot of times they don't offer any type of affiliate or referral commissions at all. So, that's something you want to know, because then a lot of these people who are going to be working with you may go buy a machine from somebody else or from them, and you lose that income. So that actually, I'm going to guarantee you that's going to happen. People are going to want to buy machines. We've just seen it over and over and over again. So those are just a few things to keep in mind when you're purchasing. Just ask the right questions, because knowing who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with and what you're actually getting is a huge deal. I mean, it really is. Everything that MagnaWave sells is made in the USA. We source majority of our components from the United States, nearly everything. The reason we did that is because especially with COVID, a lot of PEMF manufacturers have been stuck. They're delivering 6 to 8 weeks out because they get a lot of their stuff from China. So if that's the case, or from overseas, it's really difficult to get things into the country. And with MagnaWave, we really pride ourselves as making everything in the United States and keeping as much of our product, from the United States as possible, almost entirely from the United States. So I think that's important. We all want to be able to service our machines in the United States. And then if you were out of the country, let's say you are in England, or like John is, or you're in Canada, what does that look like for repair? And, what do you have to pay? And what does that look like for getting the machines in and out of the country? So, there's going to be costs when you're dealing with anything out of the country, but understanding that going in is really going to make it easier to swallow if something does happen. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. You could put them in the comment box, or you can text 502-599-9722. I would love to hear whatever questions you may have about PEMF, about machines, about sessions, any of that. Oh, another thing to ask is, what are the Gauss readings? I want to talk a little bit about Gauss, okay? It's kind of like this magic fairy dust that nobody really understands, and it matters, but it doesn't matter, and there's a reason for that. So a lot of times you will hear these really broad claims of like, this machine is 50,000 Gauss. And the reason for that is, and that was something that MagnaWave did, 6 or 7 years ago. The only way we could really measure Gauss was by using a mathematical formula based on the components and how much electricity and how much magnetic field we were creating. Could the top of that peak be, right? So the numbers were very bigger, and they were just round numbers like 50,000, 30,000, 20,000, 10,000. Well, now we have the technology has come so far in PEMF, we actually have a Gauss meter that we can actually place in there and measure the Gauss on all of our machines. So those numbers are clearer, but that doesn't mean our machines work less. Having that strength is not always as important, because if somebody says that their machine is 50,000 to 100,000 Gauss, that's crazy, okay? And absolutely, they are still using the old mathematical formula. I think it's very important to ask for Gauss, because as technology gets better, more people are going to be able to test for it. Organizations like the FEI say that you cannot be over a certain Gauss number. It's very confusing, because you'll talk to some people, some other companies and machine owners, and they'll say, oh, well, this giant machine over here is FEI compliant. Well, that's just not the case. I mean, our large machines are not FEI compliant. They don't fall within those readings. FEI does not actually certify or approve equipment. They just, it's up to each distributor and manufacturer to do that testing, submit it to the FEI. If there's any questions when you're at a show, you have that video and the actual Gauss meter to show that your machine is FEI, falls within that range. What a lot of other companies are telling their people to do is to take a magnetometer, which is what you get at a Home Depot, and it just measures a constant magnetic field. And they're putting that up to the machine. Well, PEMF machines don't put out a constant magnetic field. They put out a pulse of a magnetic field very quickly. And a magnetometer is not made to measure that peak of that. So it'll look like your machine puts out like 50 or 0.05 on a magnetometer, which is nothing. So then the vet or whoever's at the show is going to let you in thinking, because they don't know how to measure this equipment. We prefer to just have the videos already of my father has measured the machines that are FEI compliant. We share those with our practitioners if they need them. Most vets, it's always up to the vet at any FEI event to tell you if they're going to allow PEMF equipment or they're not. They can blanket decide that they don't want to. So that's always something to ask before you go. But I would just keep that in mind. Gauss numbers matter. A lot of people don't put them on their website. We don't. The reason we don't is because it's confusing. If you ask us for them or any of our product specialists, we will give them to you and you can look at them, and then we can kind of talk you through it, because it is confusing when there are so many other companies making these broad claims without any actual readings to show. We actually have our Gauss now actually tested by a third-party company. We submitted our machines to the AOPP, which is PEMFprofessionals.com. The team over there is awesome, and they're actually measuring all of our machines. I know they started with the Assisi Loop too this week. So they're just going to put those Gauss numbers out in a one place on one website. And MagnaWave, as a distributor and as a seller of PMF equipment, is excited to take part. We have nothing to hide. And I think it's a really great opportunity for consumers like you guys to really go look and see what you're getting and comparing it fairly to other products. So hopefully other distributors and manufacturers will get on board and allow their equipment to be tested too. Okay, hello from Arizona. Hi, Shan LTC MagnaWave Services. Christine Schindler says, what's the difference between the Maxx and the Maia? Spark chamber versus digital. Okay, I got to take a drink before I go down this road. Okay, so we're going to start with spark chamber versus digital, and then I'm going to go into specifics about the Maxx and the Maia. The Maxx was the first machine that we ever sold. We sold it for years and years and years. It was the only machine we had. It is a spark chamber unit. What that means is there is an actual chamber inside the machine with two metal rods that a spark is created in between. The closer the metal rods are together, the smaller the clicking. So you'll hear that click, 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 and that's when the machine is actually at a lower setting. As they move apart, the actual magnetic field will become stronger. So that's when you have those really fast, those slow clicks, like click, click, click. That means the machine is stronger. Over time, spark chamber machines are just like brakes on the car. If you use them all the way up high all the time, like really strong a lot, they will wear out to where you can't get lower anymore. Okay. All spark chamber machines have what's called an inconsistent pulse based on the weather and what's around you. So there are a lot of what I like to call purists out there who actually like when it bounces off the tissue and that magnetic field kind of does that irregular pulse. There are companies that actually sell that their machines have this irregular pulse and it's better than, a consistent pulse. There is much debate about that across just our company and science and, just individual PMF practitioners on whether they like that or they don't. We have very passionate people on both sides. But anyways, the spark chamber can be a little inconsistent because that spark actually, as these rods wear out, that spark kind of bounces around a little bit as the rods start to wear out, okay? So when that happens, you have to send the machine in. If you are using your machine a lot, like all day, every day on a very high setting, it can be more often than if you don't use it a lot. I've had people go 6 years without have their machines recalibrated. And then I've had people go 6 months to have it recalibrated. It really depends on the use and how often you're using it and where you're using it. Also, dirt getting in the spark chamber can cause issues. So you want to blow out the machines, spark chamber machines. This goes for every company across the board to keep that dust and dirt out of there as best as you can. So that's what a spark chamber machine is. Again, there are the purists who think that is the best way to get the PMF. They love it. They just think it's the best way to do it. And that irregular signal is going to happen all the time. That doesn't mean that your spark chamber is wearing out. Okay. What it does mean is that you have a spark chamber machine, and that is the way that they bounce around. It's normal. It happens. Now, if your machine cannot go lower anymore and it's just always, you're on the lowest setting and it's high, then you need to have your spark chamber recalibrated. Now, a digital machine actually has a computer chip that sends that electrical pulse, and it's one setting. So a 1 has a certain amount of electrical pulse, a 2 has a certain amount of electrical pulse that then goes into the coil and creates that magnetic field. Digital machines are much more, they are static. I mean, they are, a 1 is a 1, a 2 is a 2. They're very consistent. They don't need a lot of maintenance. That doesn't mean they may never need maintenance. Things can go wrong. They do need to sometimes come back to the factory. It just is less likely that you will never have to have it to send it in for regular tune-ups, like regular tuning of the spark chamber, because there isn't a spark chamber. It is just a digital unit. There's less moving parts in digital machines. Now, MagnaWave has the strongest digital unit at the lowest price in the world. So you cannot get a machine as strong as our Semi 3 at that price. That's digital anywhere. There's no other company. We are consistently always updating our machines. A lot of people will talk about how updated their technology is, but they really have not put out a new machine or any new technology in years. We are updating and changing and developing our machines. Even our spark chamber units are, they get updated yearly. Our digital machines get, as we learn, we are putting that information back into our equipment. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're talking about machines. They are always going to be improving, but that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. They are still delivering that same magnetic field, that same pulse, and you are still going to get results, even if the faceplate changes or a timer button changes as machines get better. It's just like when you buy a car, they're always going to be changing it. Okay, so with the Maxx and the Maia, and Suzanne, I'm going to answer your question too, but let me get through the Maxx and the Maia. The Maxx is, again, the big machine. It's about 30 to 40 pounds. It used to be in a small case, and then it went to a big case, and now it's back in the small case. A lot of people think that it's gotten weaker because it's in that small case. That's not true. It's the same strength. We've just been able to get better components to make it small again. So it's on wheels, or you could get the Maxx in an office case. The Maia comes on wheels, or what we like to call the Traveler, which is a briefcase, or it could come in an office case. But either way, the Maia is digital. The Maxx is spark chamber. If you are out of the country, get a Maia. If you're in the United States, I would recommend either one. The cool thing about the digital devices we sell is they're all smart devices, which means you can use them on 120 or 220 power. So if you're going to be traveling outside the country, then you want a Maia. If you want to be traveling outside, if you're going to be anywhere else, with the Maxx, you're going to have a converter that converts that electrical signal before it gets to the machine. So that's just a few things to keep in mind. We can customize the Maxx to have 220 power only. So if you are out of the country and you're on 220 and you want a Maxx, you can't get one, but just be aware you will have to let us know when you're purchasing so we can customize and build that unit for you. Okay. I hope that answered your questions. They both have 5 or 10-minute timers. They both weigh about the same. They're just, one is digital, one spark chamber. It's really about travel. That's the main difference. I mean, spark chamber feels a little bit different because of the way the pulse is delivered than digital feels. And I just spoke to somebody this weekend. She said, I like digital. I don't want to do anything with spark chamber. And then I've spoken to people over the years that are like, I hate digital. I don't like the way it's delivered. It really is about what you are used to and what you've used first. So if you want to talk more about that, please let me know. You can call into the office. I'd be happy to talk to you and go through that, or get you in touch with one of our product specialists. Let's see. Susan asks, how long when you get it serviced, an estimated time before the inconsistency starts again? The inconsistency, Susan, could be immediate. Like, again, spark chamber machines can always be inconsistent. There is no promise that they will be consistent, and no factory will tell you that they will promise that they will be consistent, because things like the weather, the humidity, a rainy day, just the way that electricity and that pulse is created there are a lot of factors there. So the inconsistency does not necessarily mean it needs to be tuned up. If you're having like pulses in between and you could still turn your machine all the way down, they're not going to do anything for you. I would recommend turning the machine down and starting at a lower setting. And then it will, if you do have that irregular pulse, it won't be as strong. But what I have found is that there are people who swear that that's the only way they get results is with that inconsistency. So some people like it to be consistent and some people like it to be inconsistent. And it is what it is. Sometimes when there's less humidity, you may have a really consistent machine, and then it may be very humid and you might have a very inconsistent machine. So that's just one of the things to think about with the spark chamber. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to read through. So yes, LTC says she does not like the irregular beat but she likes the Semi 5 as my smaller option. All the machines do a great job. I'm just very particular about the reaction to the spark chamber. So she is very comfortable with what she's using. For example, if 2 people walked in here today and both bought Maxxes and walked out, and they went to their respective states or countries and they started using them all the time, if they were to swap machines 2 years from now, they would not be able to use the other person's machine the same way, because your machine breaks in to the way that you use it. You get used to the knob, you get used to the buttons, you get used to the way that you use your machine. It's just like brakes on a car. If 2 people bought the same car, drove off the lot, they drive differently, they slam on their brakes differently, they travel differently. When you swap cars, those brakes would still feel weird to each driver, if that makes sense. That's the best way I can explain it. You get used to the machine you have, and it gets used to you, especially with spark chamber machines. I wish I could see all of your stuff. I'm going to try to see everything. It will not let me do it. Okay. Okay, Susan, thank you. You guys have any questions and I haven't answered them, re-put them up at the top because I can't see them. I can only see, I think I can maybe, if I click on this, whoop, is it going to show it to me? Nope. All right, so I'm going to go back. And here we are. All right, so ask any of those questions or call me, 502-599-9722. So we've talked about gals. We've talked about the differences between machines, the digital, the Maxx, and the digital and the smart chamber. We talked about liability insurance and safety testing and how important it is that whoever you purchase a machine from has that stuff. Also, training is really important. We have the online training. We do have the hands-on training when COVID slows down. We're going to start that back up again. We're also looking at starting a new way of training in 2021. So that's really exciting. I think what's really important is that there's somebody there to answer your questions and that you have somebody to rely on and you have the videos and the opportunity to learn, because getting a machine is half the battle. And there are a lot of like misnomers out there about how to use PEMF. Like there are actual companies that like divide the horse up into regions and say, this is how you treat every single horse. This spot, this spot, this spot, this spot for this amount of time and you're done at this strength. That is the weirdest and worst way to do PEMF that I've ever heard in my entire life. I've been doing this longer on horses than probably majority of the country with my father, and every single animal is different. I'm sure LTC MagnaWave services can attest to this. Like, you have got to learn how to read that machine. You've got to learn how to, read what your animal is saying, what the person is saying, ask the right questions. There is no one way to treat a person. There is no perfect way to treat an animal. Like, you have got to be able to understand the unit that you have and what reactions are normal for people and for horses. Like, if you are putting it on the same spot at the same setting every time, you are going to get results sometimes, but you're not other times. And it might be even uncomfortable for the animal or the person. So really understanding what PEMF is the basis of that. That is just laziness to break the horse up and say that this is the way to do it, or break any animal up. That is incorrect. You really just want to focus and listen and understand what the machine is telling you and what the client is telling you. So that is the best advice I have there on training. So Janet asked, can a digital machine lose power? I sent my machine in for repair, had to buy all new attachments, and it feels less powerful. How can I have it checked for gals? Okay, Janet, a digital machine, they do fluctuate because we have different programs. So your original program probably was, the programming has been updated. You got the newest update. As long as you are getting results, like, it may be different, slightly different on each setting, but that is only because what we've found over time is that these programs are more beneficial for the equipment and more beneficial for results. So as things are learned and the technology is upgraded, that programming can change a little bit. It shouldn't be, I mean, you may have to turn it up a little bit more, but it shouldn't be so drastic that it's uncomfortable. Like, it's either painful or you can't feel it. I would keep in mind that if you bought a semi or something 2 years ago, there's a really good chance if you send it in for repair, it is going to get that new programming, and you'll just have to get used to doing it again. Just like when you get brakes on a car, you get new brakes, all of a sudden they're really sensitive and it's different. You'll get used to it. If you have questions about it, email support@mwpemf.com. I'm assuming it's one of our machines. I'm pretty sure it is. And then you could send a video or, just share your information, and Lee or I will get back to you and kind of go over it with you. Amber asked, do you need to be a chiropractor or massage therapist to run the machines? Absolutely not. Especially for humans and animals, it varies state by state. We do not diagnose. We talk about not diagnosing because a lot of companies will start getting very specific about what you can treat. We don't treat anything. We allow the body to heal itself. It's cellular exercise. It's wellness sessions. It's really just about, you're really less invasive than a massage. A lot of states have their own idea of what PEMF falls under. So it really, Amber, it depends on the state that you're in. And if you could give us more information, I'd be happy to, send you in the right direction with somebody who understands your state and exactly what you want to do with the machine. That's the beautiful thing. Like, we have product specialists here who have been with us for years and years and years, and they can really guide you down that trail of like, okay, this is what you're allowed to do and say in your state. And then our training really talks about what not to do and say to keep yourself protected and to be able to get liability insurance. But you do not have to be, in majority of places, a chiropractor or a massage therapist, especially if you're just getting it for yourself. You definitely don't have to be. So Northern Lights said, I have a friend with night sweats, start of menopause, maybe. Would it help to do MW sessions? Yes. It doesn't matter whatever anybody's going to write in this comment box about will it help? My answer is going to be yes. If her body functioning better is going to help her feel better, then that's going to help. Regulating your hormones through menopause is a physical issue that your body is trying to figure out what to do with the hormone changes. If your body is functioning better, your glands are functioning better, you are going to feel better and lessen some of those side effects. And that goes with everything. I don't need to be a doctor to know that as long as you don't have any contraindications to PEMF, then using MagnaWave with a PEMF with your on the body is going to be beneficial and allow your body to do what it wants to do naturally. That's all you're doing. You are allowing the cells to get more oxygen. You're allowing the body to move better, the cells to talk to each other better. You're allowing just an entire kind of like rejuvenation and cellular exercise that is then going to allow that body to function where it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago. That's for years, this was considered anti-aging equipment because that's what it does. It really helps the body stay young and function better. That's it. There's no claims needed. Okay. So LTC MagnaWave services, I think she's referring to she says they are different every day and the treatment cannot be the same every time. Amen. So what she's talking about is people and animals are different every day. Your relation to the magnetic field around us and with the earth changes. Your body changes. Your soreness changes. So especially if you're dealing with athletes. So again, saying that one setting for you, I'm treating in one area for horses or whatever there's one way for everything is completely wrong. There is every single animal is different. And then those animals can change. What's comfortable for me, one day I might be able to go up really high on the Maxx or the Pulse Pro. And then the next day I'm so sensitive because, I don't know, maybe it's something I ate. Maybe it's because I worked out, whatever. So that's really something to keep in mind. Nobody is always going to be the same. There's always going to need to be some adjustment there. And you have to know what you're doing to make those adjustments. Okay. Let's see. All right. We got Amber said from Canada. I just noticed in my area that equine chiropractors are the main type of person using the machines. Okay. So Amber, we could talk about Canada. There are laws in Canada about who can. It depends on what you're doing with the machine. Equine chiropractors are probably doing it mostly because they are physically exhausted. When you're an equine chiropractor and you're adjusting these animals and working with them, using MagnaWave with those animals makes it easier for your adjustments. They last longer. It's easier on the chiropractor's body. I think massage therapists and chiropractors were usually leery. And then once they realized how much easier it made their jobs and how much better they felt, because they would actually be MagnaWaving themselves, they adapt really quickly to it. So that's probably why, other than just it being any type of regulation. But if you want to get more information, feel free to email sales@mwpmf.com again, or support@mwpmf.com, and I can get you into the right person. So let's see. Do you have special financing or lease options at this time during COVID? Yes, Chelsea, we do. We have special financing. Each machine is different. We have rental options. We have banks that are offering amazing options. We have a same as cash option that we have on some of the equipment right now. Again, email sales@mwpmf.com. Cameron or I will get you into the right direction with somebody who can really help you get the best machine. A lot of times what I've been talking to people and I've been finding out is that they're going and buying these $30,000 machines or these, ridiculously overpriced machines, and then realizing very quickly that they are what I like to call machine poor, because they get a machine that they can't afford the monthly payment on. They're just starting a business. It takes 2 years, primarily for a new business to become profitable. So to be, it's really important to get that machine that is not going to make you machine poor if you're building a business. And if you are treating yourself at home or just yourself and your animals, you don't need a Maxx. You don't need a $15,000 machine like that. You don't. You just absolutely don't. Like, call our office and talk to us. Do not spend too much on PEMF. You want to feel it, and you want to get the best results, but you can get the same results with a small machine as you can get with a big machine. The difference is time. Okay. That's the difference. It's going to take more time to get those, not more sessions, just a longer session treatment time. And that's it. So if 30 minutes doesn't matter to you because you're just sitting in your living room or working with your own animals, then you're great. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, think about time, not strength, not price tag. Okay, let's see if I have any more questions. All right, I can only see a couple. So if you have some, put them in there. We are going to draw for somebody is going to win a soul machine. If you entered, I really hope if anybody has somebody who bought a ticket, I really hope that they're watching right now because we are giving away a soul machine today. We're giving it away to somebody who has purchased a ticket, and all of the profit went to charity. So that's excellent. We were helping animals up in Indiana right now to help some young farmers and, young community members where we are in Southern Indiana and right here in Kentucky who love their animals and want to work with them more. And we just want to find a way to give back and do something fun right now. Everybody needs some good news during COVID. Let's see. Chelsea says, yes, it's the down payment that keeps me from purchasing. I will reach out to Cameron. Great. Reach out to Cameron. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to always ask for me. I do have office hours weekly where you all can actually call in and talk to me one-on-one. And I'm doing what's called a business builder class right now. Dion's in it. It's awesome. We literally go through an entire workbook over the period of 6 weeks. The classes are live. I do some one-on-one calls. And then at the end, you go home with like your full branding, goals for the next year or two, where you need to be, what you need to be, and what tools to get there, LLC, everything. So I'm really excited about this class. I think that a lot of people buy a machine and they think, okay, I bought a machine, now they will come. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a plan, and not just a business plan. You have to have like, what tools are you going to use? How are you going to manage your social media? Do you need a website? Like all of these things, and even your name of your company is very important. You don't want to have to change it. You don't want to have to rebrand. Like a lot of people aren't putting any thought into who they are and what they want out of this business. And we go through that. If you are interested, I believe we have some openings. You do have to own a MagnaWave machine to take part in this course or be getting certified with us. Course 2, the first class is on 9/17, but I do one-on-one calls on 9/14 and 9/15. So if you would like to sign up for that, please email support@mwpmf.com. Or if you're a practitioner, I believe you can go to the practitioner portal, right, Chris? Is there information in there? Yes. You can log into our website at the practitioner portal and sign up there. So it is not just the class that you get when you purchase it. You also get a package of really cool marketing materials. So a lot of the stuff, the class, and if you were to buy the marketing materials, one off would be over $1,000. So if you were to do that with just getting those materials, it'd be over $1,000. But if you join me for this class, you pay half of that and you get one-on-one attention, and we really set goals for your business. Okay. How much is the course? Dee Dee, it's $500. You get the one-on-one call. You leave with the whole package, the graphic design, a whole bunch of information, all of your goals. And then all of that comes in. We send you some information in the mail. And then I work with you one-on-one. If you need me throughout the course, you can schedule times to talk to me on the phone. And it's a lot. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Dion's still watching, she could say, I pack a lot into this. I give you a lot of information so that you really have within the 6 weeks course, you're set up for the next 2 or 3 years. Like you have goals. Majority of everybody I talk to is like, I don't know what to do. I don't have the confidence. I don't know what steps to take. I don't know where I want to be. And that just makes you seem unhinged a little bit. If you don't have a clear path, you are never going to get to where you need to be. So instead of breaking the leaves down one by one, we go ahead and blaze the trail for you. So all you got to do is walk it. It's pretty awesome. Dion says, business builder class is so much better than I could have imagined. I know where I'm going. I'm more confident. I know my business will grow to be successful. It's a game changer. Thank you. That is so sweet. It's awesome. It's really what I love to do. I enjoy it do it every Thursday evening. I love working with everybody. Kathy says, how long is each class session? So originally it was going to be an hour. They go to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. but we try to keep it at an hour and a half tops. And a lot of people are traveling, like they'll have their phone up in their car, like it's a Zoom meeting. We are talking to each other. And then I send you an email with information and all of your homework, and you kind of go through some of the stuff that I talked about in the class. And then we share about that at the beginning of the next class and then go over it again. So it's a really great way also to meet people who have similar goals that you can move forward with. Like I know for a fact in this class that there are people who have the same type of goals that are across the country from each other. They never would have been able to meet each other or know unless they came to MagnaCon and happened to sit down and talk about their hopes and dreams. But what happens here is that now they can bounce ideas and share their successes and work together to really build something awesome. So I think that that's the powerfulness is when you walk away from something like this, you gain not just experience that I've already messed up on. I mean, I've already made all the mistakes a PMF business person can make. I made them for you over the last 10 years. So all I'm going to share with you is what not to do and then how to set yourself up to do it right, because that's important. It really is. There's no reason to recreate the wheel. Okay. Kate says, are you going to be doing any classes? Oh, wait, Kathy says, I absolutely love this course. I wish it was a bit longer. I have some great tools. Oh, Kathy, you are so sweet. I will be happy to work with you afterwards for as much time as you need. Kate says, are you going to be doing any classes geared more to taking an existing business to the next level? For those of us who have gotten started already with the basics, you're discussing in the first course and have a good foothold, but looking more for ways to expand. Yes, actually, I think I have a member of this class that's been there for 10 years. And we've gotten a lot from her being there. And she's gotten a lot out of kind of refocusing for the next 10 years. That's been great. But I am looking at the start of next year. I kind of wanted to get a couple of these classes under my belt and get a rhythm to them before I take on that second class. So probably start of 2021, I will have a level 2 business builder class that will go more in depth into hiring, legal issues that way, and expanding your business. We do talk about that in this class, though. We talk about the big picture, like rental machines. We pretty much plan it out for the next, some of them are planning out 5 years in advance where they want to be and really reaching their goals. So even if you have the branding stuff, it's good to look at, but then we do look at long-term as well. So I'm working on what that class is going to look like and what it'll entail, but hopefully beginning of 2021. Lisa, email support@mwpmf.com. You could take the class. We would love to have you. So Carly says, I've already been in contact with another class member outside of class. See, that's what I'm talking about. You having these people, this is why you should come to MagnaCon. I really hope MagnaCon will be live this year. It is a lot of fun. It's probably our biggest labor of love. And every time you leave MagnaCon, you are reinvigorated. You meet all new like-minded people. You get to try everything that we have. You get to listen to awesome, speakers. I learn a lot. Everybody learns a lot. Plus, we have a whole heck of a lot of fun. Okay, so if you haven't got your tickets to MagnaCon, please get them now, because if you buy them before January, I believe you get discount. MagnaCon, PEMF.com. Check it out. It'll be here in Louisville in June. It is a wonderful opportunity, whether you're looking to buy a machine, you've bought a machine, you want to add another machine, you already have another type of PMF machine, come to MagnaCon. You'll love it. We do hands-on sessions with humans, horses, and small animals, and we are bringing in livestock this year, where we are actually going to have some livestock at the hotel. We actually treat a horse in the parking lot of the hotel, and we all go to Churchill Downs for racing. It's just amazing. And for dinner, it's a great experience. So either take the business class, come to MagnaCon, or do both, because we are really putting our whole hearts into this, and we really want you all to be successful. And you will be if you really, take part in these activities. Okay, great. I have talked a lot. Let's have a drink of water. I don't know if anybody wants to ask any more questions, but we're getting close to drawing the machine, and I'm really excited and sweaty. Let's see. If anybody has any questions, comment them. I would be happy to talk about any indications that if anybody has questions about them. I've gotten a lot of questions about prostates lately. I think I've seen tremendous results with prostates. My dad has an incredible prostate story. Every single one of his brothers has dealt with some type of prostate issue. He had an issue. He was very scared. He's talked about this publicly, so I'm not sharing anything he hasn't already shared. with you guys. And he treated himself and it disappeared. His issue has been gone. My family members, I have cousins, I have uncles on both sides of my husband and I's family that their lives have been changed. They were getting up 5 to 6 times a night to go to the bathroom. Now they're down to once. I mean, that's huge for any man who is watching this, or if you have a loved one who is watching this, or who is in your life who has these issues. Try MagnaWave. If they don't have a machine, go to MagnaWavePMF.com, use our map, find a practitioner. It is an easy treatment. You don't have to take your clothes off. It's a really great way to get your prostate functioning correctly. Okay. Anna Barnes asks, when does the next business session start? And that's 9/17. So course 2 starts 9/17, and intro calls will be 9/14, 9/15. So next month. And then Kate says, any suggestions for summer asthma and an equine? Thinking of recommending a HydroWave plus MW. HydroWave, absolutely. Then just the wave wings on the lung area. Consistent sessions are going to help with the oxygenation. You can't just do it when there's a sign of the asthma. You got to kind of keep them on a wellness plan for something like that. Rebecca, do you have an idea of market saturation in certain areas? I feel like area might have too many practitioners. Okay, well, that's not possible, Rebecca. There is nowhere that has too many practitioners, okay? How many chiropractors are in your town? How many dentists? How many massage therapists? I mean, there's 10 on the street outside my house for each, outside this building that I'm in right now. A lot of people, and I talk about this in the class. If you are only looking at horses, right, and you're only thinking about thoroughbreds, there might be a lot of thoroughbred MagnaWave people. But one thing that horse people do is they don't really get out of their discipline. There might not be anybody in the Western world, and that is, in your area. There might not be anybody in eventing in your area. So just because in your discipline of animals, there is a lot. Also, is there human people that are actively only doing human sessions? Are there people renting out machines? What about small animals? Is there small animal people? Does every vet in town have somebody coming? If every vet and every person does not have a machine, there is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of opportunities around you. It is horse people, and I hear this a lot from horse people. There's already too many people. That is usually because it's one discipline. And they're not branching out to other things. If you're not, actively doing human and small animal or livestock, there's cows, there's pigs, there's so many things that can use PEMF that the sky is the limit. So I think it's more about really understanding the market in your area and positioning yourself correctly, which we talk a lot about in my class, like really knowing your target audience and then how to effectively advertise to those people to grow your business to that next level. And that's what you really need to understand, because it can't be oversaturated. I tell you right now, there's a ton of machines in Louisville, Kentucky. There's a ton of machines in Florida. And I still get calls every single day where people can't find anybody. Specifically with humans. Humans are looking for a rental machine. They're looking for some one-on-one attention from somebody, whether it's through a Zoom call and a machine drop-off. There is a ton of ways to make money with PEMF, and we have all of the ability to do that through MagnaWave. We have all sorts of incentives for our practitioners to make additional, to treat more people or animals without actually having to physically treat them. So I know a lot of the practitioners that are on here understand what I'm talking about. So we really do have a lot of ways for you to expand. Majority of the people in my class, also what I've found is that they're going after horses. Like they started thinking, I'm going to go for horses, or they're going after humans. And then what ends up happening is that person who's going after humans is almost all horses now. And that person that was going after horses is now almost all human. So they're realizing that their market, it doesn't matter as long as they're happy, they're healthy, everybody is, happy and healthy, and they're able to sustain their business, then there's tons of opportunity. So that's just something to keep in mind. Market saturation, I have found most of the time has been a myth, because you can only, even one person can do no more than 10 to 12 sessions a day physically. Even whether that's an animal or a person, that is a lot of sessions. And so there is plenty of opportunity in your area. So Joe says lots of practitioners in my area, but I find I fit some people and animals where others don't, and vice versa. That's right. So you'll find your place. Especially what I really like about MagnaWave practitioners and the community that we built here is that we all really work together well. Like every day, like, hey, I got somebody coming to Maia, I got somebody coming to, this So that place, and they're sharing people back and forth and really working together and recommending their MagnaWave practitioners. So it's a really beautiful, like, unit, family. I mean, really just all trying to make all of us better. So I think that, you know, once you join the MagnaWave family, you'll see how much opportunity there is to grow there. Let's see. Kate says there's a zillion machines in Ocala, but that's the fastest growing part of the market right now. It's all about positioning yourself. I started out with a couple horses every other month. Now I'm doing multiple day trips, working up to 20 horses at least twice a month. See, she's going to a place that has more machines per capita of any place in the United States. And she's going there because there's still not enough machines. So keep that in mind. There's so much opportunity there in Louisville, Kentucky, where we are right now. We are, you know, we are here, we're selling machines, we're part of this community. And I would say maybe majority of people don't know who we are, okay? They still don't know what PEMF is. This market is growing. And if you are not getting into PEMF market right now, you're making a huge mistake. PEMF is growing. In the next 20 years, I guarantee almost everybody around us will know what it is or be using one somewhere in some way, somehow. It is huge, and it is not slowing down in any way, shape, or form. We as a animal people are wanting to be more natural and wanting to help ourselves with less drugs. Humans are wanting to do the same. This works, and if you do it right, like Kate said, you will grow. You will grow. It's not gonna be overnight, but you will grow if you put the work in and you do it right. And Kate says, when I can't take care of someone, I refer out. I'm sharing a client right now who needed more frequent sessions than she could give. So that's there you go. You end up working with some really great people. I love it, really. My passion for PEMF is and MagnaWave is just through the roof. I truly believe in it. I truly believe in what we're doing here. And I think that there's a lot of good that can be done for you, and there's a lot of good that can be done for the people and animals around you. Rebecca's in the Louisville area, Southern Indiana. Well, Rebecca, come meet with us. We're here in Middletown. We're right behind Mark's Feed Store. Our phone number is 502-742-7868. Call us, come in. You can meet with me or Cameron or one of our product specialists, try out the machines. We could talk about positioning your business. You're in the perfect area to sit down and have a conversation safely with the mask, 6 feet apart. Okay, so I think that's it. Chris, it's 12:55. We need to announce the winner of this machine. So there's a wheel that we're going to pull up, right? Can they hear me when the wheel is on? Oh my gosh. Oh, I know Maureen Boyle is so excited. She's been talking about this to me. She's so excited. So do I click to spend, or are you going to click it? You're going to click it. Okay. So there's all the names on there. And oh my gosh, I know some of these people. I am so excited. Okay, sweating. I'm so nervous. All right, go ahead. Spin it. Here we go. It's spinning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. When does it stop? Does it stop on its own? Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, what is that? Who is that? Is that Kristen Smith? That's Kristen Smith. Yay! Congratulations, Kristen. I don't know if you're on. I don't know if you're watching. I hope you are. I really, really hope you are. Congratulations, Kristen. Yay, you win a soul machine. Oh my gosh, this is just wonderful. I'm assuming we have your address, Kristen. If we don't, we do have everybody's address. Do we have everybody's address? Great. So Kristen, we'll be shipping you a soul machine in the next 7 to 10 business days. I will get with our team, make sure we reach out and get a hold of you. Congratulations. Let's see here. Kate says, congrats. I'm refreshing so I can see your comments. Oh, Kristen, congratulations. That is so wonderful. And now she gets certification with that too, right? Yes, Chris says yes. Okay, great. Yay. Okay, Kristen Smith is the winner of the soul machine. So if you guys like this and you want us to do it again with a $100 entry and give the money to charity, let us know. We would love to yeah, Dee Dee Smith, you were so close, Dee Dee. You were so close. It was in my throat. But congratulations, Kristen. If you guys want to do this again, please let us know. We'd love to do it. And thank you for joining me for office hours. I'm sorry, I'm not my dad. I'm not Pat, but he will be back with you next week. And as always, keep MagnaWaving, and I really appreciate you tuning in. If you need anything, support at mwpmf.com, sales at mwpmf.com, or just MagnaWave, PEMF.com. There's a wealth of information. We have live chat agents all the time. So get in touch and have a great rest of your week.
You and your horse have an inseparable bond. After working long hours every day, the reward you get is greater than anything else. Show your horse you care. Treat your horse with MagnaWave, the latest equine health technology.